Hello, everybody. Welcome to MoonDay Monday Coffee and Cards with me, Elizabeth. So I have my cup of coffee here, and if you would like to grab a cup with me or a cup of tea or a smoothie, a glass of wine, a cocktail, or a lemonade, whatever you enjoy, feel free to join me. So I was thinking maybe we would do these twice a month. So coffee and cards on a moon day or a Monday. I was born on a Monday, so I am a moonchild in a sense. Anyway, let's burn some sage here, just clear the air. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend wherever you're tuning in from. I hope that you did something nice, got outside, got some sunshine, and enjoyed the new moon in Libra. So I believe today the moon has moved into Scorpio, and by the end of the week, she'll be entering into Sagittarius. So let's just do a check-in because it's the last week of September. And I cannot believe that it's October already. It's so, time is moving so fast, even though we have 6 planets in retrograde. So it feels like time waits for no man or woman. But at the same time, it has been a bit of a slowdown of the energy, I feel like. Let's see what the cards have to say. So I've pulled out some cards over here, and I wanted to show you one really special deck that I found at Goodwill here in Sedona. So that's where I'm coming to you from, is Sedona, Arizona. And I'm right underneath Thunder Mountain, which is one of the most intense, powerful vortexes in the world. It definitely is. And I've been in this location here for just over 2 years, and I just celebrated my 4-year anniversary here in Sedona, so pretty exciting. I love this. So this is going to be our message to start the week, and this is the Psychic Tarot by John Holland, and we're seeing hope, and this is the Star card, so that's beautiful, right? So starting off the week with some well-deserved hope. I love this because she has her hands out here, and inside of her hands there's a light being. So this could be a guide for you. This is source energy here, cosmic energy, your higher self. So I love that we're starting off the week with hope. I'm sure that many can use that right now. And yeah, so I love it because there's such a vulnerability with the Star card. You know, usually the beautiful woman in the Star card is naked, and she's sort of just there with her vessels, and she's just pouring them out. So it's a beautiful energy of just giving to the universe and knowing that you're always being replenished. You know, it's that faithful optimism, if you will. It's Aquarian energy, so hope for the future. And in this, we're seeing the 7 of Pentacles. So this is what I was feeling. It's sort of like, even though we have all of this retrograde energy, and we've got technically 7 planets, if you include Chiron, that are still in retrograde as we're wrapping up September, we're seeing the 7 of Pentacles here, and it says patience and planning. So that's what I was saying about this sort of slower energy. I love the 2 towers, and I love that there is a nod to the sun here, so that, you know, there is reason for optimism, reason for hope, reason to remain faithful and true to your path, and to this thing that you're doing, or just your current circumstances, to have patience, to do a bit of planning, actually. And that is the retrograde energy, where, you know, we do reevaluate and we kind of look at the fine details of things. We have had all of this Virgo energy that we're now kind of moving out of. So Libra moves into Venus, I think, this week, and the sun moved into, Venus moved into Libra, and from Virgo, and the sun has moved into Libra as well. And that's where sort of like we're seeing maybe something's going to feel a bit more balanced. So if you've been taking advantage of the retrograde energies and just sort of like stepping back, not feeling like anything has to be forced right now, because I feel like it'll be futile. Like if you're just pushing and forcing things, it's about going with the flow. So go where you feel inspired, do what you feel is inspirational for you, brings you hope, follow that path, follow your own inner guidance, but also just it's not about having low expectations, but it's kind of about just like, well, this is the energy that we're in. So it's a time to be patient. It really is. This Mars transit through Gemini kind of is amping things up. It makes us really want to like, you know, go, go, go. So there's kind of this push-pull between these two energies. So 17 and 7, which is interesting. So the 7s are coming in right now, and those are our spiritual tests and challenges. But I feel like we're doing a great job here. I really do. And also in this patience and planning, there's a nod to leaves falling in this card. So especially for us up here in the Northern Hemisphere with the leaves, you know, starting to change depending on where you live. But just that energy of release, you know, of just allowing ourselves to just like release maybe what isn't working right now, just for the time being, maybe. We got the 4 of Wands with foundation and achievement. So there is a rainbow here, which is a sign of hope again. So I think the message here is pretty clear for everybody, is to remain optimistic and keep wishing, and take the inspired action, take a step back if you need to plan. Allow yourself to have patience and know that there's a beautiful outcome that's happening. This is also in the 4 of Wands, where we do kind of just pause to celebrate how far we've come. So that's another message from the guides, your higher self, for you, is to actually take a moment to enjoy like the fruits of your labor, the foundations that you've already laid out, you know, and receive a blessing inside of this moment. The 4s are where we pause. So you may be asked to attend some kind of a party or an event this week. So it may actually be a good week to be a bit social, is something that I'm seeing, because, you know, with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like, well, we've done the work. We've already put in a certain amount of work. And now we're just in that phase of sort of pulling back and like looking at all of the things that we've done. Even inside of relationships, I feel like it's almost like, give it a rest right now. This isn't a time to be like necessarily telling other people how to live, telling other people how to be. It's sort of just like being in the flow and letting things just be right now. I think people are really figuring things out for themselves, and I think they have to figure things out for themselves. So yeah, let's get one more. And then I have this really interesting deck that I want to show all of you. Well, let's see. I think we'll go to my crystal deck here. So we're getting a few different cards. This is amazing, actually. Wow. So we're actually getting 2 aces with the 6 of Pentacles. So this is what I was kind of talking about. This is material and spiritual prosperity. And this can kind of just be, it's that sixth house energy. This is that Virgo energy. So that kind of mercurial mind. But it's also just like the day-to-day. It's the routine. So they're telling me just like stick with your routine, you know, just do the things. It's going to lead to all good things with that hope card, the star card. And also we're seeing 2 aces. So Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. This is beautiful. Like, this is just an amazing energy that's coming in this week. A fresh energy, a new energy. This is a new lunar cycle because we just had the new moon in Libra. So it's a new, fresh kind of 28-day cycle. And inside of that, let's allow ourselves to have sort of that, like, free up your mind, right? Because inside of that, there's, they came out like this, free up your mind here. You know, it's kind of a clearing of the mind a little bit. It's like a clean slate. So whatever you've, whatever's come to light over the past 30 days, right? Whatever's kind of revealed itself, come to light, whatever's happened, that you can sort of just start the new lunar month with a clean slate, with a fresh kind of energy, free up your mind, and then we get passion ignited. So triumphant success and passion ignited, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. So just allow yourself to kind of feel that energy as you are just doing your day-to-day things inside of your daily routine, whatever that looks like. It's really, I think it's, it feels like you're in a solid place here. It feels like the collective is sort of in a very good place here, as long as we can kind of have patience and just like take a chill pill is something that I'm hearing. At the bottom of the deck is the base chakra. So in this deck, there's no court cards. John Holland, he substituted all the court cards for some chakra cards, which I love. So the root chakra coming out, and this is great because this is where, yes, we're seeing the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, where we're sort of doing the work, we're putting in the effort, we're seeing kind of what's coming back to us, maybe looking at some of the value of our worth and our time and energy and all of those things, but also understanding that this is a time where it's requiring patience. So, and also even with the Four of Wands, it's like about the foundations. The fours go back to the Emperor. So it is really about the four pillars of our life. You know, I feel that everybody is really looking for more balance in their life. And now that Libra season is here, obviously the scales of balance being important. And as that relates to our foundations, you know, and just the ground underneath us. So this is a very grounding energy that's you know, kind of in the underlying energy here. It's the base chakra. So this is a good week to just get grounded, you know, to really appreciate everything that you have in this moment, and have hope for positive things and good things coming your way. So really positive cards altogether. Let's move on. You know, I love my crystal cards. So for those of you who watch me, this is my go-to crystal deck. I don't even know if it's still in print, but these are the Crystal Ally cards, the Evolutionary edition, and they were created by a woman in Sedona. I kind of looked her up and haven't really had a lot of luck in finding her, but maybe I'll grab the book and show you, because this is a phenomenal deck. So let's get some messages from the mineral and the crystal kingdom. I saw labradorite with magic wanting to come out. So beautiful. And one fell on my foot. So this fell right on my foot. So I feel like this one is related to that base chakra card. And yes, this is beautiful. So it feels like there's you see these colors? It feels like there's this big activation that may happen, like if you are in nature, or if you're just practicing some grounding exercises. And grounding exercises can even come through like breathing, yoga, meditation, where yes, it is about connecting through the crown through those things, but it's also where you can get very anchored and very grounded inside of those practices. So here there is sort of like, it's the lower chakras, the first three chakras, and it's a nod to the sun. It's zincite. I have a tiny little piece here that I keep with Osiris. Isis has the, what does Isis have? Azurite, and I keep zincite with the Divine Masculine with Osiris. So there's sort of like these tiny little spears, if you will. Okay. They're like these little spears. They're like little pointy arrows kind of, and they're small, but they carry very potent energy. And this is our Ace of Wands here. So this is related to that Ace of Wands with passion ignited. So this actually, I'm feeling like this is a week where your body has a lot to tell you. Like I'm actually feeling this as the body, and it's your own physical vessel, because we are elemental beings. So when we talk about the elementals, earth, wind, fire, water, ether, spirit, and all of the other elementals, we are also elemental beings, because we have the four elements, or the five elements within us. We have the earth, right? We have air in our lungs. We have water in our body, and we have the fire kind of pulsing through our veins. So we are elemental beings, and this is beautiful. So this grounding energy is actually, it's connected to our body, and also, you know, the lower chakras. So making its way up into our emotions, our creativity, and then our power center, which is our solar plexus, which is around having a healthy ego. So I'm feeling like emotional balance, balancing our emotions this week. It may feel rather in flow, pretty fiery though as well. So very creative. There's an opportunity for a lot of creative energy this week, and even expression through voice, through sound, through writing. So a lot of creative energy that's coming through our body is something that I'm feeling. So, you know, however that connects for you with regards to your physical vessel, along with the Ace of Swords, triumphant success, we're getting clear quartz with clarity. So You may have some aha moments this month. There may be some important communication that you're receiving that's giving you a lot of clarity this week. And if it's not from like outside sources, I really feel that this is what we're working with internally. So this is like our own kind of process here. It's a really nice energy. This comes out under the element of storm. So she does earth, wind, fire, water, and storm in this deck. So there is some kind of change or revelation. This is where the 4 elements come together to create a perfect storm. So that may even be happening within you if you are working with your own elemental energies. That could be an exercise. The earth within you, the air within you, the water within you, and the fire within you, then it's creating some kind of a powerful change for you, and it's bringing you amplification like quartz crystal. It's activating some of your memory, so retrograde, remembering, and it's also providing you with like this amplified power. Very interesting. And giving you a very, like I was saying, sort of integrating everything that happened over the last lunar cycle, right? And so going back to the Virgo new moon and the Pisces full moon, now we just had the Libra new moon, and then in October we'll have the Aries full moon. And at the end of October is a solar eclipse in Scorpio. So I feel like we're kind of like just getting ready for that, and getting a lot of clarity, inspiration, and again, going with the flow and being patient, like taking the inspired action where we're feeling inspired to do so, speaking our truth where we're feeling that it's important to do so. There was one more. Oh, wow. So we're getting lapis lazuli with the air element, and you can see the pyramid there. And this is self-knowledge or self-awareness. So this is an activation of the third eye chakra. So we're kind of bringing it up. We've got fire, we've got storm, and we've got air here. So it's the Libran energy, right? So the Libra new moon, air element, Mars and Gemini. And yeah, and so this is kind of, again, this amplified power. So you may be like feeling a bit psychic or extra psychic this week. You may be seeking like learning. I'm feeling learning from that lapis. And also that lapis has contains pyrite, so that's also about, you know, growth. We were seeing material and spiritual prosperity coming out here. So I'm also feeling like if you're like looking to solidify something, again, you're going to have patience. If you know, you're going to have some patience, but it's very positive. So around your work, I'm seeing like, yes, have the patience, keep at it. Because there's a big blessing there. So not forgetting that the star card was our first card out. So it's also about healing. So if any of you have had, I'm almost feeling like if there was a tower moment that happened just in this last lunar cycle, this is where we're sort of healing from that and feeling a renewed sense of hope. And at the bottom, we landed on calcite here with spontaneity and more fire energy. So this is a beautiful energy of being open to like, you know, just to do something quickly, to respond to something quickly that's positive, to say yes to something. And we're getting sort of a nod to the pyramid again. So it is like amplified power. And it's also very meticulously understanding that our energy is sort of, it's important for the things that we're looking to create. So I feel like it's working on your energy this week, really. Here's a form of calcite that I really love. This is optical calcite, or Icelandic spar, it's also called. So this is a great manifesting stone. I love that the clear stones are coming out, and I love that we sort of have the energy of the sun, the sacral, and the solar plexus is sort of like the masculine and the feminine. So there's a balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And speaking of which, I think we will pull some cards one for the, like some cards for the feminine energy and then some cards for the masculine energy. Maybe I'll do those in a separate reading. So maybe I'll just come back and do those. So I wanted to show you this beautiful deck that I got at Goodwill here in Sedona. It's called Andean Healing Energy Cards. And this is, these are like sort of shamanic principles here. And it goes back to the Incas and even the Aztecs. So they have really powerful healing messages, and they're really good for shadow work. So this seems so positive. This is a really positive reading, and which I love, but I also want to look at like sort of what our shadow needs right now, what we can acknowledge from, you know, from that aspect of ourselves. Wow. Okay. So we're getting the llama, and this is taking me back to the Johnny Depp trial. If those of you were with me during the Johnny Depp trial and I was doing all of those readings, Depp v. Heard, what was it? 1,000 alpacas, because the alpacas and the llamas are very connected. So we're seeing the llama there. I'll get us another one. It says, are you serving well, dear one? That's that Six of Pentacles energy. Are you enjoying serving? Allow the spirit of llama to inspire you. The cherished llamas give of their gifts from Creator. They give meat, they give milk, fur, they give portage and manure. What are your gifts from Creator? So what are your gifts from Creator? Passion ignited with that Ace of Wands. Okay, what are your gifts from Creator? Are you offering them with love? Are you feeling burdened by serving? If so, how can you shift out of servitude into true service? Ah, that's huge. Maybe one day I'll make you a video about how I did that. How can you shift out of servitude and into true service? That which gives you joy as well as benefiting your community. When you are loving and serving from your heart of hearts, it feels right and good to all. So that is beautiful. The llama spirit is with you. I pulled out some animal cards, but it seems like we don't even need one right now. All right, so let's get one more. So about your service, I think that's really important. And with the Ace of Swords and the clarity, right? Ace of Swords and the clarity, and then the Zincite with the passion ignited, and then the base chakra coming out. This may be some questions that you're asking yourself. So if you're feeling fed up with your career path, with your vocation, with your job, even with your relationships and how you're showing up inside of your relationships, and maybe it's not fed up, but maybe there's something more, and maybe there's a real aspect of you that is in this process of changing some of those things, of, you know, but it's patience and planning. And with the base chakra and the foundations and achievements, yes, you know, these are things, real questions, because you still have to pay your bills, make your mortgage, make your car payment, you know, put food on the table, feed the kids, like, you know, all of that. So these are things that are very important, but moving from servitude to service, which is very, very interesting. And it doesn't mean that you have to be an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that you have to have some kind of grand creative endeavor. It very well may be that for you, but it could be like working for an organization or a company that is really aligned with your values and your truth, because that has been such a big theme, you know, for a long time, but especially since 2020, where we really want to feel in alignment with the people that we work for, with the products that we're selling, with the corporation or company or organization that we're representing. All of that, we need to feel in alignment with that. It's so, so important. And so I love this because with the spontaneity card, it's showing me that you know, that there are other people on the path. There's many other people on this path. And again, above all else, do not lose hope. That was from the movie The Life of Pi, which was like, oh my gosh, I loved that movie so much. Okay, so yes, this is amazing. It's Mikhu. And I know they give a pronunciation guide in this book, but this is, you can see her, and she's working with the elementals. It's all there. So we truly are elemental beings. We contain all of the elements, earth, wind, fire, water. It's all here. So it says, are you struggling to process something you swallowed, like resentment or shame? Allow the intention of digesting dense energy to assist you. There are so many ways. Try breath of fire or blow the dark feelings into a willing stone. So this is interesting. If you work with the elemental, the crystal and the mineral kingdom, this is an exercise that you can do. You take a willing stone and you blow your dark feelings into that stone, and then you bury it. Belly to the ground, you release your hucha into Pachamama. The heavier the energy, the happier she is to digest it on your behalf. That pit in your stomach doesn't stand a chance when you team up with Pachamama and her power to transmute. Like Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama is here to support. So that's why we saw the base chakra. And I was really feeling it's like, get out and earth yourself, or do something, do some land healing. And it's interesting to me, there's another video that I want to make about our healing journey. Many of you are on a healing journey. And so especially with the star card coming out as our first card, maybe you are a star seed or a healer, an empath, all these kind of little terms that we can call ourselves. I wanted to make a video about Chiron's influence on collective healing, and where I wanted to make some predictions about where I see the future of the healing industry and the healing community going as Chiron very slowly makes his way into Taurus. So anyway, it doesn't have to be expensive, you guys. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on healing. Maybe you want to. Maybe there's some kind of a beautiful retreat or training. You want to learn about these things and you find a teacher that really resonates with you. And so that's beautiful. But for those of you that are like, don't have the money to spend, or you just don't want to, you want to facilitate these things for yourself. I am such an encourager of those things. So what exercises can you do out on the land? Even if it's in your backyard or in a local park, maybe you find a private place, or you live in a place like I live in Sedona, so the land is just, it's right there. It's really working with that energy. And for some of you, since this is elemental, it can be water for you. It can be breath work, you know, and maybe you're just, you know, doing these things on your own. You're reading about them, researching them, whatever. This is very, very powerful, is that Pachamama, she really will help us to transmute our lower frequencies, our lower energies in such a positive way, in such a graceful, beautiful way, you know, without feeling like we just want to, like, I'm seeing it's almost like flushing it all down the toilet and never looking at it again. It's not about that. It's much more, it's coming from a place of acceptance. So that's why I was saying I wanted to do a little bit of shadow reading here. So the llama, and I actually would love to know how to pronounce this. But yeah, so they were talking about breath of fire. So it could be breath work, yoga, meditation, earthing, just getting out onto the land, taking your socks off and putting your feet in the earth, saying a prayer, you know, just thanking the earth, thanking the energy of the great mother for loving us all and for really being there to help us all. So, okay, let's move on. And I think I will just finish up here. And I wanted to use the Moonchild Tarot. So let's get some messages from Luna, from the moon kind of energy, and see what she has for us all. So this is Moonchild Tarot, one of my favorites. Okay. Oh, you're going to love what's at the bottom of the deck. So before I cut the deck, we see Judgment there. And there's Thoth, right? And with the scales in his hand, so the Judgment. And that was before I cut the deck. And now the new bottom of the deck is an extra key, and this is Divine Wisdom with Isis. So Isis and Thoth both coming in for us. So this is like knowledge and magic and wisdom, divine feminine grace, and then source energy and knowledge. So we're getting the Three of Pentacles. So again, it's that earth energy, right? And you can see the women sort of dancing around in the circle there. and it's speaking to community. So it's speaking to building, it's speaking to just being in this place of cooperation and teamwork, that's very important. And we're getting that with the Queen of Cups. So here's this very intuitive, feminine, loving, compassionate, and kind energy. And we're also seeing the 10 of Cups. So this is the energy that's coming from Luna, from the moon. And it's so clear what she's saying here is like, you know, it's kind of like that can't we all just get along kind of energy. Let's come together, let's build together, let's love together, and let's claim our divinity. Let's claim our happiness. Let's claim our joy. Let's claim love. You know, let's claim the love. I mean, that's powerful here, really powerful, you know, that there is this sort of do not give up hope for yourself, for your family. I think it's really starting off this new lunar cycle in a very optimistic way, you know, really looking towards the best possible outcome, best possible timeline, all of that. Let's see what comes after that. Two of Swords and the Hermit. And yes, so this is where I was saying, like, I feel like it is truly our own responsibility to do our shadow work. It is truly our responsibility to minimize our projections onto other people as much as possible. This is not a time to be, you know, really telling other people how to live their life, what decisions they need to make. And I get it. This can be very hard, especially if you see someone you love is really struggling. Maybe they're not doing this kind of work. Maybe they're, you know, projecting onto you or making relationships challenging, whether it's in work or romance or family or friends. But this is, again, it's that personal responsibility of when you do feel like you have two kind of polar opposite ideas, beliefs, the two voices in your head that can be very, very loud sometimes. This is when you take that time, and it is that energy of what we saw with this card right here. It's really this energy of doing our own healing. So the Hermit and the Star card have a lot in common. It's Virgo and Aquarius, you know, but they both have the light. So the Hermit's holding the lantern and there's a nod to the star in it. And in the Star card, it is the star. It is the light, you know, and it's all of that. It's the higher awareness, the higher consciousness. So the Hermit's seeking that. So if you have moments this week and you have these two very different voices in your head, and there's some confusion, there's a crossroads, there's a decision to be made, or you're just looking to bring these opposites into agreement, you know, and Teal Swan has an exercise. I'm not like a big follower of hers, but I do like her, and I know there's a lot of controversy around her, so I totally honor and respect that. But there was something she was talking about, and it reminded me of the Two of Swords, where she was like, and we'll close with this. I'll get one closing message after this. So she was talking about this exercise of when you're having this dualistic thinking, which is so, it's so common. We're human. We're having this human experience as a soul embodied, to sit with both of them. So it would be where, even if you feel like you kind of want this one to be right, this is the one like you want it to be right. And this one, it's like you want that one to be wrong. It's very dualistic. It's right and wrong, good and bad, whatever. You kind of like, I think that this is how we integrate these two, we merge them, we alchemize them into one truth. So she has this little exercise. If any of you have studied with Teal or know this teaching, feel free to leave a link to maybe where she talks about it in great detail or just comment on it. So something that I saw, it was a very short video, and she talked about, let's sit down and let's have a conversation with ourselves and let's open up our heart to receive messages. So what is it that each of these, what is the need of this one? What is the need of that one? What is the emotion behind this one? What's the emotion behind that one? What's the trigger behind this one? Maybe there's a wounding inside of this one, and really talking to them, understanding both of them. And when I watched this video, I actually experimented with it, and there was something that I was dealing with inside of my own mind and heart. And I used this exercise that she talked about, and it worked. And then I had a new clarity, I had a new truth, and I felt relieved. So it was kind of a powerful exercise. And the video, if I can find it, I'll link it. It was only like 2 minutes long. So I think that that's something that we are being asked to do, is to sort of alchemize some of our duality. The twos are connected into the Empress, so there are greater truths, higher truths, there's higher wisdom. And we saw that at the bottom of the deck here with Divine Wisdom and Isis. So you are on this path. And Isis is coming in as a guide for you if you would like to claim that. Goddess Isis, who people would call her sort of a magician, which she is, but it's also, I think that there isn't really a full understanding of how magic works, and that it is just sort of working with energies and manipulating energies, hopefully for the good of all, because otherwise it can be a force of destruction, because magic is neutral. It's neutral. It's evil that lives inside the hearts of man and woman. So it's how we use the magic. And that's where the energy of knowing yourself is so important. And, and sitting with this duality here, sitting with it, asking it questions, talking to it, trying to really understand both sides of your dualistic nature. Okay, those were the messages. All right, I want to finish up with, I got this deck, Art Through the Starstream Oracle by Cheryl Yongar Rose, and I'm a big fan of hers. And this was actually sold out, and I had been looking for it for like a year, and I found it in liquidation. So I was really excited. All right, so let's get one closing message. Thank you, Spirit. One closing message for whomever is watching this. So we get empty nest, and this warning, this has some nudity. It says, you hold your heart a space to be filled. And I'll read from the book. It's very short. They're very short and sweet. Number 35, which equals an 8. So beautiful goddess energy here. And I'm going to read this to you, and then we'll close out the reading. So let's see. So, sorry. Okay, so she painted this in 2008. She's a visionary artist. It says, there is no empty space in the universe. Try thinking in this way and see what manifests in your life. Sadness and loss are temporary conditions. We live in an abundant universe. The redwood forest is alive on every level. So more earth energy coming out. And in this case, it's the redwoods. Here, it is playing a part in the nurturing of the woman and is stirring her senses into life again. I'm telling you, you guys, this is the week to earth yourselves, get outside and just sit and be, and allow Pachamama, allow Mother Earth, allow Cosmic Gaia to nurture you, to help soothe you. So, yeah, stirring your senses into life again with that Ace of Wands and the Zincite with creation. The beauty of her trees are encouraging her to leave stifling emotions behind. When we attune to nature's vital essence, we attract that vitality into our lives. In the painting, the eyes of the mushrooms suggest consciousness in all things. And yes, there are mushrooms that are growing inside of the tree or outside of the tree. Kind of reminds me of chaga, how chaga grows on, I believe it's birch trees. Okay, so when we attune to nature's vital essence, we attract that vitality into our lives. In the painting, the eyes of the mushrooms suggest consciousness in all things. These particular fungi, Coloris veriscolor, are used as a cancer treatment. We cannot be truly alone in the forest. The trillium planted in the left-hand corner of the painting is unique to North America, and yet was carved in stone over the entrance of the Roslyn Chapel before Columbus visited America, which is always so interesting. So this here is the picture of the trillium plant that is in the left-hand corner of her painting. And how is it that, you know, it was in the entrance of the Roslyn Chapel, which is in Great Britain, a very, very sacred site. It's the sort of merging of the ley lines of, I believe it's Archangel Michael, Mary Magdalene, and Yeshua. Very, very sacred ley lines there. So how was it painted in North America, yet it was also carved in stone inside of this chapel? And that's because Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Nature is communicating through the ley lines, through these sacred sites, and bringing this information to us because we are her children. So you are a child of Pachamama, of Gaia, Terra, some people call her. She is you, she is within you. And this is so clear that this is the week to absolutely 100% connect with her. And the next card out came out in my new moon in Libra reading about obstacles being removed from your path. So, you know, this is what's happening. And I feel that you really are the facilitator of this in your own life. You are your best healer. You are your best guide. It's from within you. So trust that. Again, you don't need to spend all kinds of money on all these fancy things. You can, and there's no judgment either way, but it's also, I'm feeling like there's this sense of going inward. So I love you all so much. I hope this was helpful. It did go a while because I haven't done one of these in a while. So take good care. I think I'm going to come back on and do a reading for the masculine and the feminine energy. And who knows, maybe some of these will repeat. So if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. I'm going to start working on your October readings just in a couple of days. And I forgot all about my coffee. So, okay. So coffee and cards, Mondays. Let's try to do this twice a month. If you like this, please share, subscribe, hit the like button. I will see you all soon. Take care. Namaste.